Sixth grade lesson 12.1 is recognizing statistical questions. So we're going to be talking about statistical questions. We're going to be talking about data. Let's define those. So two key pieces of vocabulary for this lesson is data, which is a set of information collected about people or things. Set is a keyword. You're collecting a lot of information on that one particular thing. So you'll have a variety of information coming in. A statistical question is how you collect that data. It asks about a set of data that can vary, not like very much, but vary, V-A-R-Y, like be change from time to time, or change over time, or change over the different people that you're asking. So it's a question that you wouldn't be asking one time or about an event that happened at one time to one person. It is a question that you would be asking multiple people, like how much do you weigh, to multiple people, and then trying to find the average of the weight of the whole class, or how many siblings do you all have? You're going to ask a variety of people that, and so you're going to get a variety of answers, and that's going to be in this collection of data. So this example will help you understand what they mean by the difference between a statistical question and what's not a statistical question. We have the New England Aquarium in Boston is home to over 80 penguins. Which of the following is a statistical question a biologist could ask about penguins? Explain your reasoning. So we have this question: how much does the penguin named Pip weigh this morning? And B, how much does a penguin named Pip weigh each morning on 30 different days? So remember, data is a set of information, and there could be a variety of answers coming at you. So it wouldn't be a one person, one penguin, one moment item. So question A asks for Pip's weight at one time, just this morning. So it doesn't ask about a set of data that varies. Doesn't. It just asks about that one moment on that one penguin. So question A is not a statistical question. Question B does ask about the one penguin, but multiple mornings, 30 different days worth. So it asks for Pip's weight at different times. And it is likely that Pip's weight varies or will vary during this period. So question B asks about a set of data that can vary. So it is a statistical question. And this lesson is all about that, recognizing what is a statistical question, what is not a statistical question. So after you see a few examples, it becomes quite easy. Okay, that being said, we'll look at another example, but let's also put in our minds that sometimes you'll see that statistical question hone in on one particular person or thing within that data set, but it's still honing in on something within that data set. So let's say, for example, what is the height of the tallest person in our class? Well, you are focusing in, honing in on one person, that tallest person in the class, but you're comparing them to the whole data set of your class. So because that is one piece of the whole data set of our class, you're still asking a statistical question. So something like that. Let's look at this one. This is similar. Bongos are a kind of antelope that live in Central Africa. Bongos are unusual because both males and females have horns. Write two statistical questions a biologist could ask about a group of bongos. So we could ask, what is the length in inches of the horns on the bongo that has the shortest horns in the group or the longest horns in the group? Because the group itself is going to have a variety of measurements, and we're looking for one piece out of the data set, out of the set that varies. That would still be a statistical question. This question asks about a value in a set of data that will vary, so it is a statistical question. Another example of a statistical question that is seeking out and honing in on one of the items in the group, one of the elks in this group, one of the antelope in this group, but it's pulling from the whole data set. It's seeking out within the whole data set, which is the one that has the longest horns in the group. Or here's another one. What is the weight of the heaviest bongo in the group, or the lightest bongo in the group? Because we would be looking at the data of all the bongos that are in that data set and then comparing them, and that is one item, one antelope within that set. So that would be considered a statistical question. We'll put heaviest. What is the weight of the heaviest bongo in the group? Different bongos will have different weights, so that's a variety. This question asks about a value in a set of data that will vary, so it is a statistical question. So before, we only asked about Pip and his weight in the penguin one. We did not talk about Pip in comparison to others, and that was the difference. So while we focus in on one in here, in the antelopes question, we're comparing that antelope to the others in a variety of data in the set. So that's why there's a difference between the statistical question and not. And let's try this in reverse. Let's write the statistical question that could be asked in the situations described below. So in section A, a researcher knows the amount of electricity used in 20 different homes on a Monday. He knows that information already. What could he have asked to get that information? He could have asked how much electricity did you use of those 20 different homes? Or he could ask the electric company what was the electricity use of these 20 different homes on a Monday. Okay, I wrote down what amount of electricity did these 20 houses use last Monday. So that could be a statistical question. On B, a museum director records the number of students in each tour group that visits the museum during 1 week. And so maybe he wants to know, like, the common age of students in tour groups that come visit. So one possible question, there's lots, but one possible question could be, what is the age of the students in the tour groups that visit the museum during 1 week? And then he can use that data to kind of sort through and find out what a common age is for students who show up in tour groups. What's the common age? So let's write that. As long as you're going to get data back from your question that will have a variance, a variety of different answers. They might be very close in answers to one another, but there will be a variety. As long as you're going to get a variety of answers and you're going to get multiple answers back, then it is a statistical question. Or as long as the data that you collect, even if it means you're honing in on one specific antelope out of the whole set, you had to collect the data set of antelope to compare them. And so you're comparing it to, you needed multiple answers to come back for that in order to compare it. So as long as you're getting a variety of answers back on the subject, then you're asking a statistical question. So just keep that in mind for this lesson as you go through the practice problems. Keep in mind that it should be something that's receiving variety of answers, multiple answers, variety of them.